Sorry, I was just doing my work on the computer. But thank you. But welcome to the Global Gag. Please share your location or Twitter handle and chat along with us. Any questions you have, I will gladly answer them. I beg of you. Subscribe to your YouTube channel for future events. Enjoy the show!
So that was my fault. But we just learned how powerful a PLN is. So please join us on this Pear Deck, and we'll kind of talk about what just happened with our other YouTube line, because that was totally my fault. But go to joinpd.com, and then you're going to type in this code, VJSUY. And as we are waiting for people to join, I broke the other YouTube channel. Apparently my video is copyrighted with the music, I'm assuming. So I apologize, but thank you so much for rejoining us so quickly at this new link. I promise we'll bring a very good session. And I was even like joking with Abid because I didn't realize that we weren't live, that he loves grid view. So in the video, it said that Abid loves grid view. So Abid, what made you change your mind?
So anyway, did anyone hear anything that Stephanie was just saying? I'm pretty sure she was on mute and not speaking the English language and rambling on something along the lines of grid view and stuff like that, which we all know is the wrong way to view your Google Drive. But anyway, everyone, welcome.
That's not why they're here.
Your Life with a PLN. Yes, that's right. We are presenting now on a global stage our ISTE People's Choice winning, that's #1 People's Choice winning submission. And
that's with you. Everybody listening, I feel like voted for us, right? Because of our amazing PLN. And so thank you for voting for us and taking that time. Yeah, we're not at ISTE, but you get us all here. I mean, I was texting Abid all morning. I was like, hey, the internet in this room really sucks. Where are you? Are you running late? Like, are you taking a selfie with another EdTech famous person? Like, what's going on? So we've been having some fun just joking around because we're all really sad that we're not at ISTE.
Absolutely. It would have been my first time and presenting and first time in the States. Absolutely looking forward to it. That brings us nicely onto our next slide, doesn't it?
It does.
Which has oh, well, I wasn't thinking that one, but anyway. For those of you who don't know who we are, I'm Abid Patel. I'm an IT director from London. We are both Google certified trainers and innovators, and two of the founding members of Global GG.
Yeah, and I'm Stephanie Howell. I am in Ohio. I'm an instructional technology coordinator for Pickerington Local School District. And you can find me on Twitter at Mrs. Howell24. And I just want to give a quick warning. We really do like each other, me and Abid. We like to joke, and I'm sorry if that does offend you, but it's just our way of showing love to each other. And I do consider Abid like one of my best friends. So I really don't get offended when he makes fun of me. I don't know if Abid feels the same way, but I just want to throw that out there. That is just joking.
I'm not joking at all. No, this is entirely serious. I'm terribly hurt at all of the you might see it as banter, Stephanie. I'm kidding, folks.
Glasses, Abid. I think somebody in the chat wanted those glasses.
The glasses are always here. I think we got to get the glasses on, isn't
it? Yeah, we do.
That's what brings it out. I really need to get a new pair because I really can't see properly in these glasses. But hey, screw you, COVID.
We're still doing this session, COVID, even though we're not.
It doesn't matter if you went ahead and cancelled our ISTE conference on my first visit to the States. We're bringing ISTE to us. That's right, through Global GG.
And guess what? It's a free session. You don't need to pay what was like ISTE $500 to come see us. You can come for free.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my refund actually. But anyway, on to that later. This is why we wanted to bring you this session today, because we want to show you the power of our PLN. And we had a little chat back in January and said, should we put together a submission for People's Choice? And we put something together. We didn't know how it was going to look at the time, but we put it together and pressed submit. And then the People's Choice ballot started. And never in our wildest dreams did well, at least for me, I didn't imagine. This time last year, I'd never heard of ISTE. I only heard of ISTE because of a few colleagues that had been going from my London 19 Innovator cohort, and I didn't in my wildest dreams imagine I would ever be at ISTE. Granted, I'm not there yet, but hopefully at some point in the future. But I never imagined being on top of the People's Choice ballot, and
it was stressful.
I'm going to show you today. Yeah,
like I just remember Abid taking screenshots of the leaderboard for People's Choice, and he's like, "They're catching up to us. They're 2 votes behind." And so then I'm like texting people like, "Hey, will you vote for our session?" Like, it was a lot of work trying to be first for ISTE's People's Choice, but we definitely did it, and it was an exciting experience. And we are so excited to present at ISTE and finally meet. Like, me and Abid have never met in person, so we're still kind of sad about that, but we're really excited to bring this presentation to you.
Absolutely, and I think that's what it was funny because we just wanted to get selected, and then as we headed far above onto the above the leaderboard, it was like, I don't just want to win People's Choice now, I want to win People's Choice now. And we want to thank everyone for voting for us, because we wouldn't have we wouldn't be up there today if it wasn't for you, our amazing PLN. But anyway, for those of you who are joining in now, if you head over to joinpd.com and enter the code VJSUY, it's VJSUY, then you can join in with this presentation. And we want you to take the star on the Pear Deck and mark where you are located in the world. You can see I'm based here in the UK. I'm in nice sunny London. Actually, we did have a little downpour. We had a crazy few days of a heat wave, but everyone knows and loves London. Stephanie, tell us where you're from.
So I'm from Ohio, so let's see where everybody else is from. You might want to have another tab open because we're going to be going back and forth just to try to make this session interactive, because we were hoping to get people up and moving at ISTE, but since we can't do that, we're going to try to do, we're going to try to do that elsewhere. So it looks like a lot of people from America and a couple. I'm sure this little star right here is probably what, Toby's? I see him out in the chat. Georgina, she's probably like, this is probably Georgina, right?
Yep, absolutely.
We've got Kat, who would be over here too, I bet.
And we've got Rachel in the chat from London as well. One of my
Leslie's not up. Where's Leslie? I don't see anybody from Australia.
Yeah, that's terrible. Why have the
Australians? Leslie, wake up!
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is like. What, 2 a.m. for you guys? But why the hell are you not up for our session? Only kidding. No, I'm sure Leslie will be watching sooner or later once she gets up, and she is an amazing part of our PLN. It is very unfortunate that she eats Vegemite, but that's a story for another time. But it's so great to see so many people from all over the place joining us. Oh, look, we have got someone from Australia.
Or they're lying. Do you think they're lying? If you are from they're moving their star. Okay. But the reason we wanted to show this slide is because your PLN doesn't have to be your next door neighbor or have to work in your same school district. Honestly, it's probably better if they don't work in your same school district, because then you can kind of get a new perspective and ideas from them. Like Abid and I, we have different vocabulary words. I call my school a district, and he calls it a
multi-academy trust.
that's a different way, like vocabulary wise. And sometimes I'm like, what does that word mean? Like, and then I'm like, oh yeah, we do have that, but it's called this. So I think it's super important to know that you can have a PLN outside of your own little county, school districts, outside of your state, outside of your country. And one big thing that really helped us was the Google Innovator Academy. It allowed us to get that bigger perspective and meet a lot more people. Oh, should we even talk about this?
Well, let's see. How did this all start? How and it's fun. It's quite wild to think that our connection, Stephanie and I met through a Twitter thread, which was banter-filled fun about whose Google certified innovator cohort was better than the other, and we all know the answer is London 19. But
No, it's
how did we get to that conclusion that the correct answer was London 19? And so we started the epic Twitter battle where we had a dance off, London 19 versus Sydney 19, and commiseration Sydney 19 for losing the epic Twitter battle, because we all know London 19 is the best. But ultimately, that is how the connection started.
It is not London 19. We heard it right from Andrew.
No, we all know that Andy Caffrey's second favorite cohort is London 19. We'll give him the benefit of that because obviously he himself is an innovator. And shout out to MTV 16. Which is his awesome cohort. But we've all agreed that Andy Caffrey's second best cohort is London 19. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so here's just the thread. We'll give you like a short recap because me and Abid stayed up all night arguing about who was the better cohort. And that is really how we became friends. I mean, it started off like I hated him, like, oh my gosh, this guy's annoying. Just let Sydney 19 win. And you can just see here, it became a dance-off. So the London people thought they could dance, which is kind of not true. And then if we go to this thread, like you can just see how crazy this was. This is my favorite video, and it's Abid's favorite video right here. Galen, shout out Sydney 19. He won it for us. Look at this. I mean, look at his dances. Oh, I mean,
Steph, do we really want to get blocked by YouTube again? Quickly take that off the screen.
And here we were. We were just bored of the London. Like none of them were dancing. They were all just talk, no action whatsoever. And so we kind of fell asleep because it was pretty boring, you know. And then they decided to wake up and come back, but this was kind of lame. So it just started our PLN with this basic Twitter thread, which created something amazing. Absolutely.
And yeah, we still, as you can see, we still bicker and argue as to whose cohort was the best. We all know the right answer, but we'll leave that argument for another time, shall we? Yeah. So why do you need a PLN? We've kind of summarized here what our PLN gives us, and we do get an awful lot of questions that we haven't touched on yet. Is what is a PLN? A PLN is a personal learning network, sometimes referred to as a professional learning network, but I definitely like to refer to it as a personal learning network. And one of the reasons is because of, it's not just professional connections. It's not just your work colleagues. It's not just people who you do the 9 to 5 with. It's not those salespeople you might interact with or the customers you interact with. A PLN become your friends and your family and so much more. And that's why I like to refer to it as a personal learning network. And here we've tried to summarize it in 6 points. The first being perspective. And I think what really helps us is with our PLN, it helps us, our PLN helps to keep us level-headed. We all have good days and bad days, and we might go out and want to go all out crazy, and PLN really helps to bring us back to earth. It helps us it allows us to help from different from others' differences and experiences. Like Stephanie said before, where she calls her working place a district, I'm in a multi-academy trust. Now, those two, to me, mean totally different things. But when you look at what we do, we work across a range of schools, all under one single banner. In the UK, we call it a trust. In the States, it's called a district. And it allows us to look at all of our differences and experiences.
And I think too, like Abid and I have completely different roles. My role is more focused on instructional technology, where his is more on the back end IT work. And I didn't really understand what my IT team did. And I didn't appreciate them until I met Abid. And then I realized they do a lot of work behind the scenes that I have no idea about. And so just knowing that makes me appreciate them even when the internet is working. Because usually it's like when the internet's not working, we're like, come on, like what's wrong with you? But the fact that they are able to keep it going every single day and not realize that there's issues is pretty amazing. And so having that perspective from Abid really changed my viewpoint on a lot of things in education. And Abid realized that all teachers aren't bad because of me.
Let's not push it that far. I think teachers were wonderful until I met Stephanie. But anyway, again, that's another argument for later on. Moving on to global audience, and prior to me doing the Innovator Academy in 2019, shout out London 19 if I haven't said that enough already. My connections were very, very local. I only really focused and worked with people in London, actually, not even wider in the UK. And having that opportunity to go to London 19 and being part of a cohort that had 36 people, half of whom were from around the UK, half of them from America, the Americas, Canada. We had the awesome cello from Spain, and being able to connect with these people. Overnight we gained 36 brand new friends as part of my global audience, and I now probably collaborate more on a daily basis with my global PLN than I do with my local friends and family. We're all in lockdown now. We can't even see our local friends and family. But there was no transition from in person to virtual that felt unnatural for my global PLN, because we've always been communicating this way. We've always been communicating through the screen, whether it be through a Zoom call or a Teams call or a Hangouts or a Google Meet, whatever. We've always had that amazing global connection where we're able to do so many more things now. We're able to reach so many more people with our ideas and the things that we do. We've widened our reach amazingly, reaching all corners of the world, and it's an absolutely amazing feeling.
And it's nice too because, like, I have friends, I think, outside of Abid. Abid has friends outside of us, and we're able to say, hey, I need help on this activity. Oh, I know this person, or I need really good desserts. And Abid's like, oh, my wife cooks and bakes, and she does all these amazing things. So it's really good to know people. And they can help you out with different things. Like, for example, we needed a sketch note session after the boot camp. So Global GEG ran a session about getting certified for level 1. And it was an amazing experience. And we all came together, and we even grew our PLN that way. But one of the challenges was a sketch note. And some people were like, what is a sketch note? And to me, I was like, oh, yeah, it's just like a drawing or whatever. And we realized we need to have a session on it. So this week, we're going to actually have a sketchnoting session. And we asked our friends in our chat, we have like a global GEG leader chat. And we just said, who knows somebody that can sketch note? And there was like 3 different people. And the first person that got back to us, we were able to say, hey, can you help us with this session? And they said yes. And I don't even know that person leading the session, but now I do. And so because you know people, you're going to keep growing your PLN. And with Google Innovator Academy, I highly suggest you apply, because they throw these energizers that you can go to at different events. And then you can grow your PLN even more by meeting just people that are kind of like-minded like you. And also, our next point is when life gets hard. Life is gonna get hard. I think we all kind of realized that through COVID. So we were all there for each other during COVID. I feel like we became better friends because of COVID, because we were stuck inside and we were like, I'm bored, who wants to do a Google Meet?
And I think and then it's really there hasn't been many positives to come out of COVID, and our condolences go out to everyone who's been affected by it. I have been affected by it as well in my wider family, and it's amazing the positive that has come out of it. We could probably argue that Global GG exists today because of COVID-19,
And because of Kat in her staff room.
and that's another conversation, and that's something we went into during the Global GG launch. So definitely go and watch that, because we explained how we came together to form such an amazing group of people as part of Global GG. But these are people we collaborate with, not just once a day, not twice a day, 24 hours a day almost. We wake up to hundreds of notifications on our messages, and it's not just 100% professional and about PD and about how we're growing the education communities and how we're inspiring. No, we share everything about what we do on a daily basis, the good times, the bad times, when life gets hard. That's what we do, and we connect with our PLN, and that's why, come back to what I was saying about why is our PLN what it is. It's a personal learning network, because it's all stuff that is personal to me and stuff that I feel very comfortable sharing with such an amazing group of people.
And I mean, it takes time to trust people, so you have to allow that time to build up, to trust people and share those challenging moments in your life. The next one, I'm gonna have Abid talk about selfies, because he's the selfie master.
Why would you want me to talk about selfies? I don't take selfies, Stephanie. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows
sure?
selfies, and
you haven't taken them since COVID.
There is an honest truth to that. I did not like taking selfies at all. It was in 2008. I was at the Bet Show in London, which is kind of like our equivalent to ISTE, and I'd gone to see someone who I collaborate with, John Jackson, who's the CEO of LGFL, who are an amazing company who do some really great things for schools in London and around the UK. And I walked up to say hello, and he said, Abid, great to see you. I'm doing selfies today. Like, yeah. I was like, whoa, selfies. That's not me. I don't do selfies. And then it's like, next thing I know, he'd posted it on Twitter, and he's got God knows how many thousands of followers, and then suddenly I see people liking those tweets and stuff and everything. And then next thing you know, I met him a few weeks later, and he's like, Abid, selfie, and snap. And before I know, I'm like, whoa, you got to calm this down. I'm just selfies. Yeah, not me. I haven't done my hair. Don't look right. I haven't got my glasses. Yeah. And then it became a thing. It suddenly was like, Abid, have you taken your selfie with John yet? It's like, what? Have you taken a selfie with it? Yeah. Oh, Abid, can I take a selfie with you? It's like, why? And then I saw that connection grow, and I realized that it's not about, having to put on that, stern professional outlook at all times. Let yourself be free. Let those worries go. I realized that, what a fun way to build your connections, just by taking a photo. And then, how often do we have bad days where we just turn around, we look for our photo album, and we see so many wonderful memories of great times where we were together, where we took photos, and we remember the good times and things like that. And these are all things that have just helped us to build our professional and personal communities. And absolutely go out there, don't be embarrassed. let that guard down and just go and snap a few photos here and there. It's such an easy and nice way to break the ice, and such an easy and nice way to create those connections. Absolutely. I'm all about the selfies now.
And I think too, it helps you reflect. You're like, oh my gosh, I was like that a year ago. Like I was looking at some of the Sydney 19 pictures today, and I was like, if I went back this year, I think I would have talked to so many more people. Like I got out of my shell in a year, and it was amazing. All right, Abid, smile. We're gonna take a selfie. Go ahead and take your selfie with us and post it on social media. We were going to do this at ISTE, but since we're not at ISTE, we'll just have to do it this way.
Hashtag global gag. That's the one. Let's see. And after the session, we'll definitely retweet all of your selfies, and let's see as much of them as possible.
Yeah, even if we're not wearing makeup, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing makeup. Abid's not wearing makeup.
Yeah. Shout out to the person who's not wearing makeup. AP707 is my youngest brother, and at some point we'll probably have to ban him from the chat. But for now, shout out to my brother. Yeah, love you lots. Right, moving swiftly on. Feedback.
So feedback. Oh, this is a good one. So if you have a really good PLN, they won't always knock you down. They'll make you more positive and provide really good feedback. So they'll take your idea and go, yes, and let's do that. So for example, when me and Abid were first friends, like back in, I think it was like January, we were like, let's start a podcast for AWE20, like Global GEG didn't even exist. And then from there, it became, well, let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this, and to where it's now something huge because we use that yes and. It wasn't no, but like it was a positive conversation to where now everybody's ideas and thoughts are welcomed because we're going to make it better if we keep growing on each other. And also, it's nice when other people give you credit. So we're always like, okay, whose idea was that? Like, who can we start with? So like Leslie was like, Stephanie, can you teach me podcasting? And I was like, sure. So I feel like Leslie is the main foundation of this, the Google Nana.
And, you know, it helps to just share and learn from, you know, those critical friends, those people who, you know, you can trust and are looking at what you are doing from a really honest and helpful perspective. And I will definitely be giving Stephanie some very constructive feedback after this session. Absolutely. She better be ready for that. But you know, this is one of the most amazing things about the PLN is the minute you want to do something, the minute you're thinking of an idea, you share it with that group, and you know you're going to get an immense amount of support, and you're going to get an immense amount of help and direction along the way that you want to go. And a great question there from Pilly in the chat.
So what is AWE20?
W20, and
I think Pat explains it very well.
Yeah, no more words necessary. We are a small bunch of absolute weirdos who are all Google certified.
And that's because of Luis here. Welcome, Luis. He is the term. You're on camera, Luis. You are. He is the reason that we are like-minded wackos.
I'm cooking. Let me cook.
And finally, direction. So, what does direction mean in terms of our PLN? You know, direction helps us in order to not lose our way. That's what direction is, isn't it? But you know, when we can reach out to our PLN for support when we need it, and you know, if we're doing something, and coming back to that innovator community, you know, when you ring the fail bell, if you've realized that something isn't working, what do? You know, you're at that horrible low moment where this has all gone down the drain, and I've had this horrible issue here, and I don't know what to do next. And what do? We turn to our PLN and suddenly we get that direction back to where we need to go.
And even just reminders of due dates. Like with the Google Innovator Academy, there are certain due dates or things that come up, and you're like, oh, when was that webinar? Like, I'm supposed to be there. When does it happen? And as soon as you know, Abbott throws the link in, or he shares the Google Calendar with us. So that's another powerful thing about a PLN is the collaboration that you can have and the less work you have to do.
Absolutely.
All right, so in Pear Deck, so on the other tab, you're going to go ahead and type, what barriers do you face when it comes to having a PLN?
Let's see, what have we got coming in? So what barriers do we face? For me, whilst we wait to see what we do have come in, imposter syndrome is a really common one that we get. And what is imposter syndrome? It's that feeling of I'm not good enough to be around these people. And that's something we definitely felt when we were in the Innovator Academy. We're in a room full of 36 other people. And, each of us were sat there and we're looking and we're saying, oh, I'm not good enough to be in this room. All those 35 other people are so much more amazing than I am, and I'm going to get found out here, and that's what imposter syndrome is. And absolutely, it's a barrier to building a PLN, because there's such an amazing group of people out there, and you want to sort of get in with that group because they're the cool folks, they're the folks who are doing such amazing things. But what am I doing? I'm just switching, as an IT technician, I'm just switching things off and on again. What am I doing to inspire people? And that's what imposter syndrome is. And it's probably in a way you say it's an irrational fear, because never feel that imposter syndrome. No matter how small you might think what you are doing is absolutely it's absolutely important that you share what you are doing with a PLN, and you get part of that PLN, because that will so help you to grow. Just by sharing what you might think is tiny is probably going to be huge for someone else.
Yeah, and I'm seeing time. A big one for me is FOMO. I have a fear of always missing out. I have to be in control of everything. I hate surprises. And so sometimes I just have to say, okay, I'm unplugging because I need to for my well-being. And they're always there for me when I come back, plus 200 and some messages, but that's totally okay. But yeah, keeping up it's a hard thing to do, I think. There's another imposter syndrome. Social anxiety, that's real. It's scary talking to people that you don't know. You're afraid of what they might think or what they might say. And so my mentor, Jen Giffen, she gave me the most wonderful advice she's my Google or EI mentor. And she just said, for my project, I have like a bunch of different resources. And she said, you need to ask those people if you can use them. They're going to say yes, but it's going to help you build your PLN. And I was just like, I don't want to ask them, I'm a little scared to do that. But she was right. I just said, hey, can I use this awesome resource? And it built them up because they were like, oh, she wants to use this resource that I made in her project. Like, that's really cool. And multiple people will see it and use it. So you can't be afraid to just share things. It's a hard thing to come out of, but the worst that they're going to say is no, hopefully.
And it comes back to the, if you don't ask, you don't get. And,
yeah.
I saw one there that said something about I'm an introvert. And I used to think I was an introvert, for all that boisterousness that people probably see me do on YouTube nowadays and all the selfies and stuff and everything. I probably became an extrovert out of it, or again, faking it till I make it as part of these PLN things. But absolutely don't feel like that. It's all about sharing, especially those of us who are within the education community. It's all about being part of, the fact that you are sharing, you're already doing one of the steps. Share the stuff that you do, and that's how you break the ice. That's how you build those communities. Absolutely. I see loads of people here talking about imposter syndrome, and it is a huge
Mhm.
thing. It is
It is.
absolutely.
It's a real thing. Being judged. I mean,
Yeah.
you really do have to trust that PLN.
Yeah.
And we've realized through our PLN that sharing your weaknesses has been kind of helpful, because we're like, oh, they struggle with this. So how can I focus on making them better and using their weakness and my strengths to make this community better? So you really do have to trust people. Being new to Twitter. Abid was brand new to Twitter before he went to the Innovator Academy, right?
Well, I mean, I had what, 200 odd followers on Twitter before I got accepted into the Innovator Academy, and I didn't feel like I connected with anyone on a sort of important scale enough to be able to inspire people and do things like that. But the minute I got announced as part of the academy, and it's not been even a year since we went to London 19. We're almost at our 1 year anniversary, but I'm now on 2,500 followers, and I look at what I'm tweeting, and it's a few tips here and there. It's me sharing what I've done, lots and lots of selfies. But this is it. It's not hard building that PLN. It's not hard doing things to inspire people. If you've seen something, what was it? I saw one there about time zones, and the fact that we all struggle with time zones and converting our times. And I showed Stephanie a few weeks ago how you can add a time zone calendar into Google Calendar, and then she then figured it out. And it was amazing how people didn't. We didn't realize people didn't know that. It's there. It's a feature. You just have to switch it on.
And all you have to do is go to settings. Let's show them real quick. Once you're in settings, this box was unclicked for me. Right here, world clock. Turn that on and pick your PLN and where they're from. So like I've got my time zone, the UK, Pacific, and then I've got Australia. And I probably need a bunch more. Up over here. So what time? It's 3:52 in Australia. Why is Leslie not up for this?
I know, Leslie, wake up. That's not on. But anyway, time zones. Time zones don't need to be a thing. I mean, remember, Twitter is about text. It's about text chat, and start off with leaving a few messages here and there, and people will respond to you at their own time. And we're going to show how to use TweetDeck later on as well, and we'll show how you can schedule tweets and stuff so you can capture the right audiences at the right time. But absolutely, don't see barriers as a way to stop you from doing something. See barriers as a challenge that you want to tackle in order to achieve getting yourself a PLN.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to our next question. Oh, wrong one. What benefits have you found when it comes to having a PLN? So mine is I get to make fun of somebody 24/7 and give them a hard time. I love joking with Abid, and I love fighting with him about like pointless things. Like grid view is the best view, right?
Absolutely not. But it's that friendship. It's the banter. It's what Luis keeps saying. Hashtag like-minded wackos. Finding that. Finding your crew, finding those folks who are the people that you want to connect with, the people who are going to help you to achieve your goals and who you're then going to inspire to achieve their goals. And that is one of the benefits is inspiration. Some of the stuff that comes out of it is, what started off as a banter on an epic Twitter battle. It was a few tweets here and there saying, "Oh, London's better than Sydney, and Sydney's better than London," and blah blah blah. And suddenly, a few months almost less than a year down the line, global GG, and we're connecting with God knows how many communities around the world. We are collaborating with educators from all over, and how many students are those educators then having such a positive impact on? It's the fact that we, the fact that we are able to do this on a global scale. It's an amazing benefit for that comes as part of a PLN.
And you might, like, I know there's some rough families out there, and this is your excuse to not have to hang out with them.
Absolutely, my brothers miss me dearly, clearly, as you can see.
Yes, I always come first nowadays. I love this guy.
So, Stephanie, what are we seeing on the Pear Deck?
So one thing that I really love was the inspiration. Like, you might be reaching some burnout in your career because education is a hard career. You spend a lot of time giving, and sometimes you don't get in return, or the return is not as quickly as we think it should be. You might not see it until, 10 years down the road when you see a student again. And so talking with other educators can really get you fired up. And I love what Melissa is it Summerford? What is her last name? Is it Summerfield?
Summerford.
With the stars. I love what she says. And she was just like, you guys get me. Like, everybody else would think I'm crazy working on a weekend, but I find enjoyment out of it. And you guys are working too on a Saturday. So it's just a lot of fun, when you find those people that are just as excited as you are, and it gets that education back up and going. It's like an informal PD on my phone. That is so true. I'm constantly learning new things with my PLN, and you're just like, oh, I didn't know that. Could you imagine if every PD session was like your phone and your PLN? So we try to incorporate more of that in our district this year. What else do we have on here? Huge boost of confidence. Yeah, I know, like, for me, when I first started in this PLN, I was pretty shy. And once I had this group cheering me on and really helping me with different things and supporting me at different events, I'm like, oh, I got this, it boosts my confidence, and I'm able to talk to anybody or present or whatever I need to do. Yeah, this one's a good one too. I mean, school can be lonely if nobody else shares, but your PLN on Twitter or in WhatsApp or whatever you use shares different ideas. It can really help you, again, get inspired and fired up.
Some great ideas coming here, and camaraderie I just saw there. Absolutely, the camaraderie is such an important thing. If you don't have that connection, and that you're not going to go on to do the inspirational things that we've managed to achieve, and that only comes out of having those great friendships. And
I love this one too, battle buddies. I feel like you guys are now my new battle buddies. I like that better than PLN.
Right, so let's move on to the next one. What ways do you connect?
My favorite way to connect is Twitter.
Absolutely. I think probably for most of us within the Google Certified Innovator and Trainer communities, Twitter has probably been our most powerful tool. A lot of people will come to me and say, oh, I mean, you're the Twitter guru, and I just don't understand Twitter, and how do you do it, and how do we go out there and get that inspiration and reach out and do the amazing things that you're doing on Twitter. And I just say, you look at some of the early days of my Twitter, and it started off with me complaining to the local supermarket that my eggs have been cracked in the delivery, and what the hell are you going to do to fix it? And it started off with that, and then being an IT manager in a school working in IT has always been kind of a lonely place in school. Whenever friends and family say to me, oh, Abid, what do you do? Oh, I work in a school. Oh, what do you teach? Yeah, I'm not a teacher. What do you do all day long then? You know, oh yeah, I'm the IT guy. Ah, okay, I see. Oh, you must love it. You get Easter holiday, Christmas holiday, and summer holiday, and all these holidays. Nope. What do you do all day long then when there's no teachers and pupils in school? Yeah, that's when we work the hardest, and that's when we fix things. And it's the fact that no one understood what I was doing on a daily basis, except the fact that, oh, you know, maybe he goes and fixes a computer here and now. But you know, what is it that makes it so? What was it? I looked at it and I thought, this, surely there must be a better way. Surely there must be a way to tell people the story. Surely there must be a way for people to understand what it is we're doing. So you know what? I was like, you know, I started off with, go to my line manager, who was a teacher, and said, you know, this is what I've done today. This is what I've done today. This is what I've done today, and this is how it's going to impact on the children's lives, and this is how it's going to make teachers' lives easier. All right, great, cool. And then I thought, well, you know what? I need to make that bigger now. I need to get that story out there. And so I turned to Twitter. And like I said, last year I only had like 200 odd followers. So how do you get that story out there? How do you push it so that people will see? Hashtags are really, really important in everything that you do. And you know, there are some really important hashtags out there, you know, like hashtag edtech, hashtag edutwitter. Find those people within your community, find those people who are around you, and then basically reach out to those people through those hashtags. And you know, no one's going to say that you're going to grow exponentially overnight. No, it takes time and it takes a bit of effort. But whenever people say, oh, Twitter's too much effort, I say it's 280 characters. You know, it takes a minute or so to write a tweet out. You know, we use WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat all day long, and to constantly sending messages forwards and backwards. How much are we sort of, you know, how many characters are we going throughout that day? Let's put them to use. Let's put them onto Twitter. Let's form them in a way that will basically allow us to say something that will go out and inspire. And it's all about sharing what you're doing, celebrating what you're doing, no matter how big, no matter how small. Break down those walls of your classroom. You know, you have all of the amazing work that the children are doing in your class, but then all we're doing is we're just hanging it up on the walls in the four walls of the classroom. You know, when they go home, they go on Xbox Live and PSN and they're on Instagram and they're on Snapchat and stuff, and they're sharing things from their lives. But you know, what is it that we can do to think? And you know, I want to give a shout out to one of Stephanie's innovator buddies, Adam Hill, and his project Media by Example, which is such an amazing project, which takes a look at how important it is to engage with social media in the classroom. And Stephanie, what are we seeing on the Pear Deck?
Oh, so we're seeing a lot of Twitter. But you got to find out what you're passionate about and go with that route. I mean, I know Flipgrid has a PLN, Microsoft, if you're into that, Google has a PLN, like all these different people have set up PLNs. ISTE even has a PLN. So you want to get involved that way. You've got to figure out, what are you passionate about? Who are your like-minded wackos? And you've got to figure out what group to go in, because you can't do it all. You can try, but don't try to do it all. So that's where we started Global GEG.
And it's hard to think that Global G, when we posted this, the idea for this session on ISTE People's Choice, Global GEG wasn't a thing, you know.
Not even in our minds.
Absolutely not even in our minds. We did not think what we would be doing today with Global GEG, and you know, it's hard to believe that Global GEG is what, a month and a half old, nearly 2 months old, and this is definitely something that's come out from our PLN.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's welcome to join Global GEG. It's a place for every single buddy and anyone. You could be a member or you could help lead. It's kind of up to you. And so we just want to invite you to be a part of Global GEG, where you will find a PLN and people that do care about you. And so we're just going to real quickly talk about what Global GEG is. As Luis says, should I pull him back up on the screen? Oh, he's dancing. He is dancing. Here we go. Luis, what is Global GEG?
I got dressed. I got dressed better because I was sloppy before. Now I'm still cooking.
Okay, what is Global GEG?
Okay, Global GEG is a reaction that we had.
No, you weren't supposed to say that. You were supposed to say the part in the blue.
Okay, Global GEG is awesome, and we're trying to make the world a smaller, better place.
There you go. But go on with your other thing.
But it was like
way to demoralize this.
Way to ruin it.
I love you too, Mrs. Stephanie. It is, but Global GEG is a product of us actually coming out, and we were all part of GEGs in our different localities. And what we found is that we were missing some support as to what to do, how to do it, who to do it with. And that was really rough on us. So we decided to try and come up with ideas to help people out. And that all started with the session we had on Data Studio with Chris for GEG UK. And from then on, it's just been crazy.
Yeah, so GEGs weren't really a thing. Oh, hey, if you're wearing your PJs, please let Luis know.
This is my brand new awesome Star Wars shirt
If you're wearing your PJs, let Luis know in the chat because he was feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, I also have an awesome Darth Vader apron because I'm barbecuing right now, and you guys are just.
All right, we're gonna get him off because he's making me hungry. But yeah, in the chat, if you were wearing your PJs, please put it in there so Luis can have a little bit more confidence that it's okay to be in your PJs and watch a session from Global GEG. But yeah, this is the founding team. We all kind of came together with a similar problem in education. That sometimes helps when forming a GEG, or not a PLN. Oh my gosh, all these different acronyms. That really helps. If you have a problem that you need fixed, that's your starting point to finding who you need in your PLN. And so we came together. GEGs were kind of in a rough spot, I would say. A lot of them were dying. And we were like, how do we get one started? We want to push the Google in our district, in our state, in our local areas. And then we also realized it's a lot of work. And there is no way I could have done the boot camp by myself. But because I had a team of 17 other presenters, it was really easy. I only had to do one session, and I was done the first day, where other people hopped on and they did their part whenever their day was. So I am so thankful for that PLN because there's no way I could have done a level 1 boot camp for my entire district. And they were able to be there to support me. Let's see here. And so this is where our first cohort kind of started of our global GEG leaders. And now we have all these wonderful, lovely people. And we can't do anything that we do without them. We are just so thankful for them. It's all hands on deck, like Amber just said. I love that. It really is. It's not just one person doing all the work. It's splitting that work up between so many different people.
And I haven't even checked the metrics for the final day of boot camp, but I mean, just we held boot camp over 3 days, and just after day 2, we were on 13,000 people that we've connected with through that level 1 boot camp, which is something that would never happen in person. Where would you, aside from a concert or a sports event, for a educational PD session, where would you gather 13,000 people sort of for a 1-day boot camp on something that is PD related? It just wouldn't happen, and absolutely free, and that's so important that which is why this community is so amazing, is because everyone's giving their time. We already know that as educators, you don't go into education because of the money, and these amazing folks are just going out even further than that and delivering all of these inspirational and amazing sessions absolutely free. And we've had such amazing feedback from those 3 days of boot camp, and so many people who are so grateful for it. And hopefully they will. And Stephanie and I were there in that position once upon a time. This time last year, I had, was it March last year, I had no Google certifications whatsoever. I didn't know at that point what kind of a journey I'd be starting. The fact that I'm here now doing this is because of starting that journey, and we can't wait to see some of the journeys that these folks who have attended the boot camps have joined us today, and also some of the GEG leaders themselves, are starting their journeys as Google certified trainers and innovators, and it's going to be so exciting to see these folks and what they achieve.
And so our mission is we're a collaborative group of Google Educator Group members, and we are from all around the world, and we just want to help educators and students have the best learning experience possible. And so we believe we can do that by working collaboratively together and sharing each other's ideas and making them all better and growing together. And so we have 5 goals. The one that I really wanted to point out was goal number 5, and providing opportunities for leadership within communities. Leadership is very lonely. And most leaders, it's only like one of you for your building or one for your entire district if you're a tech coach. Like I know a lot of tech coaches that they're the only tech coach in their whole building. And it's hard to collaborate if you're the only one for your building. And so it's so important for you to grow your PLN so that way you can grow and become a better educator. Also, like showcasing professional learning. We like to show off amazing people and their skills that they do. So we like to use Global GEG as a platform to share all of those different things with local GEGs. We love to advocate for Google. And then we like to be collaborative. That is so important about being a part of a PLN. You need to be collaborative. And then we like to help local GEGs start their launch. So if there's not a GEG in your location, make sure you reach out if you want to start leading one, and we would be more than happy to help support you.
And this is how you can connect with us. We'll be sharing out these this slide deck after the session. But absolutely, connect with us on Twitter, and that these are the most amazing first steps that you should take to help you build that PLN. Join us on Twitter, follow us, it's at Global GEG, and we always tweet using the hashtag Global GEG. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is where you're watching us now. We've got so many PD sessions that we've already had, and we've got so many more exciting sessions coming up. Visit our website where you can meet our wider team of amazing educators, and you can connect with them. We're on Instagram and Facebook and our Google groups, and absolutely connect with us, because there are so many exciting things that is just and above and beyond everything. We do all of this because it's fun, and we have such an amazing time doing it. So absolutely connect with us, and we'll be able to help you join and build your PLN.
And so we have some events coming up. We've got our famous EdTech Smackdown. I'm going to win again, just so everybody's aware. Make sure you vote for me. And then we have It Just Works, which is Abid's Innovator Project. And then we also have ongoing events that are weekly, and they happen every single week. The Innovator Chat is more of a monthly event, though. Anything you want to talk about? Any of those events coming up? The A to the B to the I to the D?
No, see, you've spoilt it again. Yeah, that's just not how you do it. It's a trademark now. No, come on, look, we don't want to get blocked on YouTube again. Yeah, you got to do it properly. Yeah, it's me. It's the A, B, I, and the D. It's not that difficult, you see. Yeah, but you're having problems because you're the terrible Stephanie. Right. We'll come back to It Just Works in a bit. I think we've got.
I'm just a little jealous because my name has 9 letters, so it's a little bit difficult to do anything like that.
Yeah. See, not all of us are as fortunate.
Yeah. So we're going to give you some pro tips to be a good friend. Remember personal information. So our secret is we have a spreadsheet, And we keep important information in the spreadsheet, like birthdays, because birthdays do matter to people. Abid, are you wearing those cool birthday socks that your PLN got you?
Not at this particular moment, but I can't believe my awesome PLN sent me a pair of socks with my face with sunglasses on it. I know people get already say I love myself far too much. I can now wear myself, which is something I never thought I would say, but yeah, absolutely. One of the benefits of a PLN that we've probably forgot to say is the amazing gifts that you get from all over the world. Yes.
I know I got candy from Kat from the UK. It was amazing.
Look, it's not candy, it's chocolate. It's a chocolate bar.
Chocolate.
Yeah. Yes, say it properly.
All right. So I love this theme. I'm going to go back on topic. Wow, it's so nice to meet you. And then I've already forgot your name. That's so true. Like, I am the worst person when it comes to names. I will remember your face and I'll remember everything like that. But when it comes to your name, I'm like, oh, what's their name? And so having a spreadsheet, like a cheat sheet, really helps. And so my cheat is, even at school when I'm coaching teachers, is I'll put in my calendar like, hey, they are having surgery on this day. Make sure you text them in the evening. So then I'll text them like, hey, how did your doctor's appointment go? And they're like, oh, you're so sweet and thoughtful, And I'm like, oh, I totally cheated. But writing those special events down really make people feel like you care. And calling people by their name really does matter, and their kids. So today I was like, Bonnie, can you have Sadie do that video for us for the opening? Rather than just saying, hey, can your daughter do that? It makes it more personal. So we do keep a spreadsheet with our group and different information that we find out about them. And you don't want to create a spreadsheet right off the bat and be like, fill this out, It grows over time as you trust people. So share with us some pro tips that you have in the Pear Deck.
So if any of you are coming late, head over to joinpd.com, and then the code you will need is VJSUY, and that's VJSUY. And thanks, Mark, for the reminder, everyone. Abid's birthday is the 7th of July, which is in just over a week's time. So 7th of July, mark that in your calendar. What date was that, Stephanie? 7th of July?
I don't know, but I think we're having a amazing session with John Carippo aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. See, that one of the things that makes my birthday even more special is Hans Tullman of London 19 fame, yes, and John Carippo, the amazing John Carippo, who delivers some great sessions on edu protocols, will be delivering us an awesome session with built-in birthday party for Abid. So absolutely, yeah, and some great comments here in the chat. We've got 7th of July. I wonder what's amazing about that day. 7/7. Yep, yeah, there's a great day there. 7/7. Yeah.
Yeah, so Twitter lists really do help you build a PLN. That's a good suggestion. Let's see what else we have. Share. Yeah, people like it when you share. That's always a good. Learn. Yeah. Share again. So keep on sharing. Oh, Google Keep. That's a good idea. Keep information there. Be kind. Be a good listener. Oh, be yourself. Yes, be yourself. Don't be like not you. That's never a good thing.
I think that's the most amazing. We've said it enough already, but
I like this one too.
Saying it, it's all about sharing. The more you share, the easier it will be to build on that PLN. I think you look at some of the edu famous rock stars we've got on Twitter out there, and you ask them, they'll probably all say the same thing, that they have got where they are today because of the fact that they've shared their journeys, shared what they do, and that's the most important thing.
I love this one too. Give as much as you take. So I kind of want to talk about that. Building a PLN is how much you give. So if you don't talk to other people, it's a two-way street. Like you can't just have a relationship where you're just talking to yourself. So that is so huge. Like it is what you also give. Like if you give a lot, you're going to get back a lot in return eventually, I believe. I love these.
Yep, listening to others, such an important thing at the moment, and you know that comes on nicely to don't do life alone. You know, for so long we've been in our silos doing. You know, we're all doing such amazing work, and then we're all pretty much doing the same work. We've all got the same challenges. We're all here trying to inspire our future leaders. We're all trying to give them the best start to their lives. And why do we have to do that in our little bubbles and do it alone? Let's do it collaboratively. Let's do it together. And that's what one of the importances of the PLN is sharing what you're doing, how you're doing it, and do it together. And that's the thing. And when you do things as a group, when you do things as part of a wider team, it just makes it so much more amazing. Just, you know, we're human beings. We love getting that recognition. We love getting that cheer squad. We love getting that support. And I think that's absolutely what it's all about.
Yeah, I agree. And make sure you aren't doing life alone. I mean, you really do got to find your people. So we are, from this section, going to actually go do a Twitter chat so we can connect. Again, if we were at ISTE, we would have done this in person. So we're going to use Twitter to connect with each other. So first, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves, but we're also going to show you TweetDeck. But real quick, because this is a really awesome thing, someone in the comments wants to share Twitter handles. I think it's Laura. I'm going to make a Google form real quick. Is that okay, Abed?
Yeah, go for it.
So we need what? Name and Twitter handle?
Yep.
Anything else?
Grid view or list view?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right, isn't it? Are you team grid view or are you team list view?
Okay. Anything else?
I think that should be fine for now.
All right.
Don't you mean the correct team versus the wrong team?
Absolutely.
All right. So we will put that in the chat. Great idea.
But we'll be finishing off this session very soon, and then as soon as we've finished, head off to Twitter and keep an eye out for @GlobalGG, and we'll be posting question 1. And so question 1 will be just introduce yourself, where you're from, and what your role in education is. And don't forget, with every answer you give, to include the hashtag GlobalGG, because then we'll be able to see what you're posting. And then we'll give that about 10 minutes before we post question 2, which is the most important question. And then another 10 minutes will be question 3. And then after that, 10 minutes after that will be question 4. But yeah, it's going to be a really nice and exciting Twitter chat. And especially for those who aren't yet part of the Twitter community, start that journey now. You know, it's not very difficult at all. And definitely look out for that as soon as we go off the air here.
All right. I just switched the responses. I'm just having an awful day today. Like YouTube didn't work. I can't get the form to work. It's working now. And then I also shared the spreadsheet so you can see all of the awesome people that filled that Google form out and start connecting with others. So I am going to go ahead and show you TweetDeck. So if you have never used TweetDeck, this is TweetDeck. It's kind of crazy. Let me put it in the chat. That way you guys have it. There you go. All right. So here you can set up different columns. This will help you build a PLN. Over here, I've got the Ozobot chat because I was a part of that. I'm actually going to change this for Global GEG now. And I can see all of the awesome things. Oh, look at all these selfies, Abed, that people have been posting using that hashtag. Over here, I have the Google Innovator Academy hashtag, so I can see what's going on with that hashtag. I also have my Sydney 19 cohort, the best cohort ever. And then I have a Tollgate one because that's one of my schools and they have like a hashtag. So I like to see what my teachers are posting. And then over here, I do cheat. You can see that I've scheduled some posts to go out at different times. And then I also over here have ISTE 19. I would have changed that to 20, but that didn't happen. So it's very easy to set up and you can have different things that you like. So I'm going to go ahead and hit tweet. I'm going to go to our slide deck. I've got question 1. And I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to write global, and I'm going to post it from the right account. And then I can go ahead and schedule it if I want to send it later, or I can go ahead and just tweet it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a screenshot of this too, because pictures are always better, aren't they? And just remember, we're going to have fun with this Twitter. Maybe, there it is. With this Twitter chat. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and what your role in education is. So I went ahead and posted that first. Why did I schedule it? Abid, do you have, let me log in as,
I'll post it. I'll post it on Global GG.
Okay.
As
I'm in as Ohio.
But we're coming to an end anyway. So if we head back to the slide deck.
So second question is going to be grid view or list view, but we don't want that answer. Well, we do want the answer, but we also want you to create your own epic Twitter battle. So what's something else people could argue about? Maybe it's peanut butter or jelly, or the way that you say GIF, or the way that you say gag. So you're going to put that in your tweet. The third question is, what problem do you have in education? Then you're going to find somebody that might be able to build a connection with them. So you're going to actually DM that person and say, hey, I see that you have this problem in education. I can help you. Or I have the same problem. How can we help each other? And then the last question is, any questions that you have for us that you might have asked in the chat, we're actually going to answer them over on Twitter. So make sure you use the hashtag global GEG or we won't see it.
And that bit we've put at the bottom there, remember to have fun. It's all a bit of light-hearted fun, and that is the easiest way to help build those relationships. Is that fun, that comedy, that entertainment, and that banter.
All right, and then
cool. And then so just coming up on Global GG, we've got some really, really exciting events coming up. Stephanie hinted at my Google Certified Innovator project. So what you do as part of the Google Certified Innovator Academy is you basically find a challenge in education that needs solving. And what you will do is, once you reach the academy, and then after the academy, you will work for an entire year to come to a solution for that. And so my how might we statement was, how might we make digital transformation accessible to everyone, everywhere, and on any budget? And out of that came the It Just Works event. And the next few slides will see the main event that will be coming up. But first and foremost, just to get the conversation started and hear from the people who we want to help, we've got a great Twitter chat lined up on Wednesday, the 1st of July, and that will be at 5 p.m. UK time and 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. And definitely, please do follow the It Just Works hashtag, and it's at it_justworks on Twitter. And we'll have a great hour-long chat, similar to what we're going to be doing in a few minutes. It'll be 5 questions every 10 minutes, and it'll be great to get that conversation going before the main event. But before the main event, we have EdTech Smackdown 2.
You got the A to the B to the I to the D.
there you go, messed it up again, but that's why she won't be winning the next round. But EdTech SmackDown 2, for those of you who haven't seen EdTech SmackDown 1, absolutely go over to bit.ly/edtechsmack and watch the first episode. It was an amazing comedy 2-hour show filled with educators from around the world talking about distance learning and showing off 1-minute demo slams or smacks, as we like to call them. And it was just filled with so much fun and laughter, and we had such an amazing time, and it was one of our most popular events. And absolutely, we've got loads of people who are looking forward to EdTech SmackDown 2, and you will absolutely see Stephanie get what's coming to her when she loses big time as part of EdTech SmackDown 2. But do please join us on the 15th of July, Wednesday the 15th of July at 8 p.m. here in the UK, 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Pacific. And then on Monday the 20th of July is my big It Just Works event, or as I like to call it, the awesome It Just Works event. And this is a really special thing to me. It's an event that has been 12 months in the making, and I have had so much support. A huge shout out to John Neal, who is my mentor for the Innovator program, and he has really helped to inspire me and help me to achieve this, to be able to bring this to you. And we've got some great really great speakers lined up who are going to be sharing their Google journeys and sharing what they're doing and inspiring others to start their EdTech journeys, because we keep saying, how we are living in the 21st century and we want to prepare our children for lives in the 21st century. Well, we're now 20 years into that 21st century, so how do we help to get our children ready for those lives, and with all of the technology around them? And that's one thing that we're going to be looking at It Just Works, and it gives me great pleasure to bring that to you again on a global scale, because we're not meeting in person at the moment, so we're able to bring it to you live on YouTube, and I'm really grateful for that.
So thank you again for coming and watching, and thank you again for being flexible at the beginning. I know that can be stressful, but you all made it to the right thing because of our awesome PLN, and we will see you on Twitter. I know there were some questions about TweetDeck, so I can stay on real quick and show those people, but if you have not yet, go over, and the first question has already been posted. Introduce yourself, comment to some people, and question 2 will be coming up shortly. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us, everyone.
So for those that are still here, this is TweetDeck. And all you have to do, I can't even remember what the first TweetDeck looks like. Let me see if I can log in. Because mine was all set up, customized. Log in. Nope, it's not going to let me. Okay, so over here, you can add different columns. So over here in the corner. And then when you add a column, you can either add your home page, which would be your thread of all the messages. You could add a user if I wanted to follow Abid all the time. I could set up my notifications so I can see my notifications in TweetDeck. I could also set up search. So if I wanted to do search, a new column pops up, and then you're able to type in there what you're trying to search over here. And then there's also all these other things. I can do lists if you're following a certain list, collections, what's trending, likes. I can put messages in there, mentions, followers. You can put all these different things in there, like scheduled tweets. So you get to pick what you want, and all you have to do is hit add column. So once you do that, up here in the search, I could type in, let's see here. Isn't it It Just Works?
Yep.
And then over here, I can now see everything that has that hashtag. So it's just going to pop up another column. And then if I want to tweet from here, I just hit tweet. You can have multiple accounts. So I've got my podcast, Get Inspired and Innovate. I also have GG Ohio. And then I can type the message. I can add an image or video. I can schedule the tweet, or I can send a direct message. So that is how you do that. And again, you just do it the same way. So I put A1. I'm Stephanie Howe from Ohio, and then all I would have to do is hit tweet. I think that covers the basics, don't you think, Abed?
Yep, I think that's pretty.
All right, so we will see you guys on the Twitter chat. Thank you again for joining.